What's up, Caps fans? Welcome back to CPR, which normally stands for Capitals Postgame Reaction. But today, however, it stands for Capitals Pooping Repeatedly. Because that is exactly what the Caps did in this game, is they just shit all over themselves, all over the ice, over and over and over and over again. Shit everywhere, okay? It's a mess out there. But let's be calm, We wouldn't want to lose our cool here. Everything's fine. It's fine. Okay, it was actually a really good start by the Caps in this one, despite the score. I know that sounds like I'm kidding, but I'm not. Senators goaltender, Anton Forsberg, who has always been, by the way, a very underrated goalie in this league. He made massive stops on Connor McMichael and like 3 in a row on TJ Oshie. Otherwise, the score would have been quite different in this one. The Caps were actually out shooting the Senators 9-3 at the time that the Senators got another power play goal to make it 2-0, that being courtesy of Josh Norris, who is the Senators' best goal scorer and who is playing his first game of the season after a lengthy absence due to shoulder surgery. So you just knew that he was going to score in this hockey game. Have you ever noticed that about the Caps? Anyone who's playing their first game in a long time, anyone who hasn't scored in a long time, anyone who's on like a long goalless streak, anyone who's looking for their first career NHL goal, certainly, they are all guaranteed to score the minute that they play against the Washington Capitals. Like, it is one of the easiest bets that you can make if you want to make a quick buck. It's like clockwork. And hey, turn that into a parlay as well with Evgeny Kuznetsov having 2+ giveaways in the game and you are in business. Anyways, John Carlson, he then snipes one past Forsberg to make it 2-1. Primary assist to Alex Ovechkin, secondary assist to Tom Wilson, who had threaded the needle to Ovechkin initially. So that was a nice play all around there. And seriously, it really was a very good first period by the Washington Capitals. They had most of the scoring chances. They outshot the Senators 12-6 in the period, and frankly, like I mentioned, if not for some stellar saves by Forsberg, standing on his head there at times, the Caps probably would have been up about 4-2, and in fact, they probably deserve to be up about 4-2. But life's not fair, kids. And so we head to the second period, where the Caps had clearly all taken a Xanax during the intermission because they were asleep to start the period. Josh Norris, again, Artem Zub, Claude Giroux, it's 5-1. The Caps finally get their first power play of the game more than halfway through the game. That's becoming a pattern. And Alex Ovechkin, he gets a puck sitting there for an empty net tap-in. Senators defenseman Artem Zub fully puts his hand over the puck. You can't do that. Covering the puck and preventing Ovechkin from tapping the puck in. You can't do that. That's obviously an automatic penalty, and in fact, it is an automatic penalty shot in the NHL. But oh no, not so fast. Not on this night, it's not. It goes uncalled somehow. The referee, who is standing right there, claims that he missed it. At the time, that would-be Ovechkin goal would have made it 4-2, and we would have had a hockey game. Instead, though, the Senators, they score again. That is their 5th goal that makes it 5-1. And it's clearly offside when you see the replay. So the Capitals, of course, they challenge the goal for offside. And Stevie fucking Wonder over there spends over 5 minutes looking down at his little iPad just to come back and say that it is apparently not offside, despite, like I said, there being clear video evidence that it, in fact, very obviously was offside. Rasmus Sandin would also ring one right off the crossbar to end the period, and that basically sums up this night for the Caps, doesn't it? There was also a third period that was played, that happened also as well. But that was basically just a formality at this point. The Senators would add one more goal for the final 6-1 score. And listen, you could look at things as being that we are 1-2. I, however, forever the optimist, I choose to look at things as we are 1-0 without Anthony Mantha in the lineup. He was just awful again tonight. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't exactly a career night for anyone on the Capitals, but on a team of guys who are underachieving right now, he is far and away the worst player on the ice. I saw a stat today that Anthony Mantha's expected goals for percentage is 22%. 22%, you guys. I'm going to be frank with you, that is an unplayable player at that point. And it's not Spencer Carberry who's choosing to play Anthony Mantha, but rather right now his hand is being forced by injuries and by other things. Game number 1, for example, they had to send Alexi Protas down to Hershey to make room to call up a goalie to back up Charlie Lindgren, since of course Darcy Kemper, he was going to miss that game due to his wife giving birth. And then game number 3 here, Nick Dowd, he is out with injury, so Mantha gets back into the lineup again. So it's not by choice here right now. For Spencer Carberry. When Carberry had enough healthy bodies for game number 2 against the Flames, he's got Mantha sitting up in the press box where he belongs. But listen, let us end on a couple of positive notes here. First and foremost, it is abundantly clear that in terms of the forward combinations, at least, these line combinations that Carberry put together for this game against the Ottawa Senators, these are the line combinations that the Caps should use going forward. Because despite the score, they worked. Take the top line, for example, Alex Ovechkin, Dylan Strome, Tom Wilson. That trio at 5-on-5 against the Sens had an expected goals for percentage of 69.01%. And their Corsi for was even higher than that at 71.43%. So those are absurdly dominant numbers. And if you keep that up, you are going to win a lot more games than you lose. Obviously, the defensive end does need to be sorted out and cleaned up. We all know that, but that is also very much to be expected under a new head coach when you're implementing a brand new system. Oftentimes when you see a team get started under a new head coach, that'll be one of the things that takes the longest to actually get sorted out, is the defensive end. So that is to be expected, and for me, I expected that. So that's why you might notice I'm not panicking about it. But offensively, the process of these line combinations at 5-on-5, like I said, against the Sens was very, very good, even if the result wasn't there yet. If you keep it up, the results will come. And obviously, it goes without saying, but the one change up front that you should make as soon as you possibly can is to swap out Mantha for a healthy Nick Dowd, as that will obviously be a huge upgrade. But yeah, these line combinations, they created a ton of great scoring chances. If you didn't catch the game, it was, like I mentioned, it was Strome centering Ovechkin and Wilson. It was Kuznetsov centering McMichael and Oshie. And boy, oh boy, did McMichael and TJ Oshie ever create some magic together out there. They could have had about 7 goals in the game, honestly, if not for Forsberg standing on his head. So they were great together. Kuznetsov's just kind of there at this point floating around, but McMichael and Oshie is a partnership that you should keep together. And then it was Nicholas Backstrom centering Sonny Milano and Matthew Phillips. And then, like I mentioned, Nick Dowd was out with injury, so it was Anthony Mantha in for him. But when Dowd is healthy, then that line would normally be Dowd centering Malenstein and Protas. So I would definitely go with those lines for a while and just wait for the pucks to start finding the back of the net. It is going to happen sooner rather than later. It has to. Okay, that is it for today, folks. Try to relax until the next one. Get your blood pressure to come down a little bit. I know I'm going to. It's a long season. This was game 3 of 82, and there was always going to be some growing pains. We knew that coming in. Saturday night in Montreal, though, it doesn't get much better than that. Until next time, babes, let's go Caps.